Alrighty, this is my program. Hello. So I made a data visualizer, and essentially what this does is it takes a set of data, which is listed right here. It's just a number of items from 1 to however many you specify. In this case, I'm choosing 35 items. That's what this is. And it passes through all those variables to the visualizer so that it knows how big the window needs to be and all that jazz. And this is just more of a buffer so that when the visualizer is done, it can you can see that it is sorted. Gives you a few seconds to analyze that. And these are all the individual sorting algorithms, and I'll get to those in a second. But that's essentially what this does. It just runs the main file, and then it goes by every single sorting algorithm. So then we move over to the sorter, and this is when it initializes just some general information. So like whether or not you want to see the sort as a developer. So this is kind of pointless unless you're testing the code, but just so there's some general stuff. And then each individual sorting algorithm. So we've got the pancake sort, and I'll show you exactly what these do, but all you need to know is that this is where all the code is for those sorting algorithms. And there's pancake sort, there's radix sort, insert sort, there's BOGO sort, I love this one. There's bubble sort, shell sort, gnome sort, selection sort, odd even sort, stooge sort, cocktail sort, and that's it. And a lot of these are credited, so there's a lot of credit in there, and there's also a lot of credit in the readme.md as well. So while I'm explaining the visualizer, let me go ahead and run the code so you guys can kind of see the first one, which is bubble sort. Oop, gotta run it here. And as you can see, that's running as intended. At least I hope it is. And this initializes the window, essentially just visualizing it in general. There is a slow buffer. What this does is basically starts it slow, so you can kind of see what's going on for the first few seconds, and then it goes faster just so you don't have to wait a long time for a lot of items to sort. And then this initializes all of the other stuff as well. I don't think that ran correctly. Let me let me run that again. So these are essentially the algorithms. And this one's bubble sort. What's happening is two items are being compared every time, and depending on this position, it'll say, okay, is this item bigger and is this item smaller? So it does that, and then if the smaller item is on the right, it clearly needs to move over to the left, so it moves the piece to the left, swapping it with the bigger item. So it's all using comparisons, and as you can see, it's sorted. Insert sort's a little different. What happens is it takes the right item and it just keeps comparing to the left until it finds items that it's less than and greater than, so it can find where it smashes in between. Selection sort, this one specifically goes through the entire unsorted array, which in this case it's this very left bar here and this other bar to the right before the smallest item, and it scans for the smallest item and sticks it to the right. And that's the sorted one. Pancake sort is a little confusing to see, but essentially it grabs the smallest item, flips it to the right, and then flops it over so that it can just kind of like pancake. Radix sort is a bit hard to understand, but essentially think of it this way. You've got this number, it basically scans from the last number, and then it sorts them by that last number, and then moves up to the next, and so on. Gnome sort is kind of like insert sort, except it's more inefficient because it is making comparisons on the way back. But it looks like a gnome is taking your item and moving it, so I think it's fun. Shell sort is pretty interesting. What happens is it takes an integer and it basically bubble sorts by that integer, and then it does it again with a smaller integer until it's completely sorted. Odd even sort is also pretty much like bubble sort, however it goes based off of odd indexes or even indexes, so we'll sort by these three and so on. Stooge sort, I have no explanation for this one. It is very inefficient. It basically just scans 2/3 of the list and continues doing that until it's done. And cocktail sort goes left to right constantly, finding the smallest item going left and finding the biggest item going right. And then we've got BOGO sort. Logo sort is pretty fun because it just randomizes a list until it's sorted. And there we go. Took a little over 1,400 iterations. So yeah, that's my program.